We're rolling.
Okay, so this is Monte's roadmap to success, and if you hear him barking in a little bit, I want to remind you that when he's barking or doing other attention-demanding behaviors, such as poking you with his nose, so kind of like nudging you, pawing at you, barking at you, whining, trying to engage you and get your attention towards him, that's when you want to ignore him. And remember, ignoring involves no eye contact, not talking to him, or anything like that. And in the beginning, remember, he's going to try harder and be more persistent because in the past, it's gotten him some type of attention. So he's going to keep trying because he's thinking, this has got to work. At some point, she'll give me attention. Why isn't she paying attention to me? And then as you keep ignoring the behavior, he'll eventually learn, okay, this isn't working anymore. Barking equals not getting any attention. So this is not fun. I don't want to do that. Now, I would wait at least a minute or so after he's stopped barking completely, which on average, we've seen about 2 to 3 minutes maximum. So wait another minute, and then when he's being quiet and good, pet him. Tell him how good he is. Because remember, we want to make sure that we're petting with a purpose. So when he is being good and on good behavior, you want to give him attention so he knows that's the behavior to be exhibiting versus negative behavior like barking and demanding attention, and that doesn't get him attention. So that way he knows this kind of behavior gets me lots of attention, which is being quiet, sitting, being a good boy, versus, being barking and trying to demand your attention. And that kind of follows into what we want to do in the schoolhouse, in the social area, and the premises. So what we want to do there is start to work on training him to go to his bed when new patrons come in and clients come in. So when people come in, get his attention, you can whistle to him, call him. Over time, he'll probably hear the door and run over to you anyway. And remember, we're calling his home base, that dog bed, a desk. So say, toss a treat, say desk. Soon he should hear that door, people walk in and start running over to the desk. You can get really healthy treats, so you can always toss one to him, like apples, carrots, bell peppers, chop some up, throw a mixture of different things into a little container, so that way he doesn't know what he's getting. And that way he starts to associate, okay, when new people are here, this is where I should go. To help try to break down that barking time period, after people have been in for a little while, he can get out and socialize. If he's struggling or there's some struggle happening with, different clients petting him when he's barking, things like that, you can always get a leash to restrict his freedom. So he has to stay over on the desk or his dog bed area. That will help you gain control because remember, if other people are petting him intermittently, it's going against all the stuff that you're trying to do to teach him not to bark, to get attention. So to gain the most control, you can leash him, or we came up with another fun alternative, which is to come up with a little sign up on the front chalkboard, maybe on a little table saying, I'm with a little paw print, I'm learning my P's and Q's, please don't pet me if I'm barking or if I'm talking, something cute and fun like that to help people see that you're in a time period where you're trying to train him so that barking will stop. Because we obviously don't want him to not be social, we just want him to not bark to demand attention because that can be, a little troublesome, especially when you're working. That also extends into when you're in the home or working with him on your own. If he's barking at you in the house, even if you think he might have to go potty, ignore the barking, ignore him until he's done, wait a minute, and then take him out. So we don't want to not give him the things that he needs, but we don't want him to associate that barking as his way of gaining your attention to make you do certain things. So that way we're kind of extinguishing that behavior as well. Now, I want to refer you to a couple of videos on our website. So go to dogonsproblems.com, dog training tips, and then there's a search bar. You can type in the words counter conditioning, so the word counter and then conditioning, but it's all one word. And type that in, you'll see a bunch of videos for how to help a dog stop being fearful of loud noises, blenders, thunderstorms, fireworks. Between David and I, we have a ton of videos, probably hundreds of videos online that you can watch as a reinforcement to what we talked about here today. That we want to be giving treats while he's listening to recordings of these sounds, so that way you can control the volume. Start off as quietly as possible and then slowly increase the volume over time. At all times, he should be so comfortable that he's taking treats, sitting by you, and moving around. A lot of times movement is great because dogs can only focus on one thing at once. So if you're playing the audio track of thunderstorms and it's, say, volume 5, just picking an arbitrary number, try moving around a little bit. Give him a treat for sitting, and then walk to the other side of the living room, give him another treat. Get him really engaged in what he's doing, so instead of having to sit stagnant where he might be a little more nervous, kind of getting the wheels turning, get him moving so he can use some of that extra energy in movement. So go ahead and do things like that as well. Ignore that behavior. And then, so that's what you want to do there. You can also work on that with all other types of noises. Say he's nervous if you run the blender. You can do the same type of thing, do a recording of a blender, and then work on the volume, because you can't obviously control how loud the blender actually is. Or if you have someone here helping you, you could always try going outside while they're running the blender, so it's obviously quieter because you're farther away. So those are options on how to do the counter conditioning to help him overcome his fear of loud noises. And then I want to refer you to the video above this one for how to help him start to engage in playing and get him to get more interested in exercise by using this ball. Another thing you can do eventually, we cut a little hole in it so you can put treats in here, and eventually he might get to the point where he's picking it up to drop the treats out, and then he'll really be engaged, and this alone becomes something that's reinforcing for him. All right, and then lastly, I want to remind you that everything you do trains your dog, only sometimes you mean it. Okay.